Uh, Distinguished members of the panel, ladies and gentlemen, um, increasing coal production is perhaps the most challenging task before us. And I would not like to dwell upon saying what are the difficulties, but I would like to bring about certain points which could be discussed from the point of view of investors, from the point of view of issues that can lead to maybe higher production. Presuming that the process of clearances from various ministries and land acquisition is to some extent tackled, then what do we have before us so that we can increase production? The coal sector being in the nationalized sector, there is a certain limitation which I referred to. But within this limitation, is there a scope? I think the concept which has been now, we've been talking about for a long time, and I think Coal India, the company, largest coal producer in our country, has to some extent tried out and also introduced it, which they call as an MDO. In the private sector, where you have the block owners, they are perhaps doing it in a bigger way. The mine developing group organization takes on a kind of a turnkey job for running the mine. Unfortunately, it's not easy under the law for allowing a joint venture formation in which that company can take the coal or sell it in the open market as they wish. But it becomes the property, coal produced the property of Coal India, and they only can dispose it off under the present law. The point I'm trying to say is that there is a lot of scope for joining with Coal India as an MDO in opening up new projects and putting in the latest technology and increasing production. When I'm saying increasing production, is this increased production is a pre-planned activity. It's not increase as you go on mining. It has to be a pre-planned activity, because your mining capacities are determined by what they call as a mine plan, and the mine plan is then gets the clearance of the environment ministry. So you get restricted by the mine plan. So any increase has to be a pre-planned activity. It's not an injection of technologies just suddenly to increase it. Even if you want to put in technology, it would require a revised mine plan to get all the clearances, and then only you can perhaps go. We were in Coal India were fairly relaxed in the way that, okay, there is a need for increase, we would do it and apply to the departments for clearances of environment and forest, and maybe over a period of time you'll get it. At the same time you go on increasing, but that perhaps is becoming more and more difficult today. Joint ventures is what I'm talking about, that there is a scope of joint ventures. Now, why I'm saying this is that both Coal India as well as the Singareni collieries, which are the two main coal producing government companies, both are looking for partners for underground mining. And underground mining expansion is the area which is going to get impetus. It is going to get impetus for two reasons. One is getting land is becoming more and more difficult, and underground mining is perhaps a little more environment friendly than open cast mining. The other area where the investors can think of is in the washery sector. It's linked with, not directly linked with the mining activity, but it is coal production. It is in the washery sector which is going to expand in a big way for two reasons. One is that the power sector would require more and more washed coal with the kind of technology and the coal that is, the kind of plants that are coming up. And secondly, Environment Ministry is going to make further restrictions on movement of coal with ash of more than 34% over long distances. Today we have a restriction of 1,000 kilometers. They are talking of reducing it to 500. So one can easily understand that there is going to be a lot of expansion in the washery sector. And this is an area where a lot of investments can be done. The other area where I would like to throw this idea to the audience is relating to machinery. We really do not have first-rate mining machinery manufacturing in this country. We have a few people, but most of it is large mining machinery is imported. We had thought of trying to rejuvenate MAMC by getting in BEML, DVC and Coal India to form a joint venture and enter into that area of manufacturing machinery for underground mining. Rightly or wrongly, the geology of the coal seams in this country is such that there is a limitation to the modern equipment being used. We can conveniently use things like continuous miners, but we may not be able to use everywhere the long wall in underground capacities. Now we need to bring in some way by which equipment made in this country is more suited for our conditions instead of getting too much of import. Yes. Today, when we talk of China, we have mines, underground mines with the capacities that go up to maybe 10 million, 15 million tons, or maybe more. But in India, we don't have an underground mine with a capacity of even maybe 1 million tons. The biggest that is coming up is in Andhra under SECL, where they probably are going to go up to 2.5 million using the long wall technology. This is another big area. And I would say that the industry should look at underground mining in a big way to be done in close collaboration with the two major mining companies. And they are looking for technology and partners today. Other areas I would not like to touch. I would say that you will have to excuse me. I would leave this debate. The stalwarts sitting here know a lot about coal, and Mr. Narayanan and Mr. Mukherjee, who've been part. And of course, from the power sector, we have Mr. Goel, who knows how, what is the interaction between the coal sector and the power sector. I would like to be excused at this point, and maybe elderly person, Mr. Narayanan, can coordinate the meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you.